Hi, Mohammed. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you where you're gonna grab the information for that contains everything inside this button and this button. Okay, these two buttons are similar. These two buttons, if you see the first video, watch the first video, it's gonna allow you to add a filter. Okay, so the information that you're gonna see here, once you click on add this one, you're gonna call an API once, and then you're gonna call this API once you load this screen, okay, in the background. So this API is gonna give you the following information. It's gonna give you this information that you need to know how to load all of this, okay, all of this, and especially this one, okay. So in the API, I'm gonna show you right now. Let's go back to the API here. So this is how you will call the API management fields. The fields are all the options, all the possible filters. So here, for example, scroll back to the top, the first fields or filters, the first name of the first filter is entry price. So here, this should be actually entry price. Okay, entry price. Oops. And then the next one is setups. Okay, so we go and then we put that one setups here. Make sure setups. There you go. Setups is here. The next one is mistakes and so on, right? So you're gonna grab all the names of this array and then put that name here. Okay, the name is gonna be in this list, which represents. Let's go back to this panel. Just gonna show you here. Once I click here, boom, all this information that is here, all this, it's being sent on that API, and also the information on the right hand side, this is also being sent on the API. For example, this information. Okay, let me show you where that is. Okay, so if you go to mistakes, for example, you're gonna see here the sample is just a text. The sample you're gonna show here. This is a sample, okay? And then here's the string type, or the not the string type, the field type. Field type here is, okay. And then let's see what else we have here. And then the description. The description is this one, okay. So that's how you're gonna show that. Let's see what else. Now, operators. This, once you click on any filter, for example, this one, dunk, volume. Let's find the operator volume here. Volume. Here, volume. The operator here that you're gonna see here, sometimes we have multiple, sometimes we only have one. Right now, we're only gonna start with one for all of them. So actually, there won't be any drop down here. I'm just gonna take this off because there won't be any drop down for now. Okay, so all they're gonna have the same operator in between. So what was I gonna say? As long as it has an in between, you're gonna have two fields, one field here and one other field here. Okay, and then you're gonna have the functionality to add this button, which is missing. This button is missing from. It should be on the left as well. This button to add a new range. Okay, should be here in all of the views. Somehow I missed that. Okay, like that, something like that. Okay, now how do you know that you're gonna put in between? It's because if we go here for volume, let's go and search volume. Here's a volume. Then we scroll down, and then we're gonna see a valid for. I don't see the operator. Oh. Oh, that's not the volume. Okay, I'm looking at something else. Let me find volume. Hold on. Okay, here's volume. Actually, it's called volume change. So the operator is gonna be between. Okay, this one is between. So as long as it's between, you're gonna show this view of one input here and then another input here, and then you're going to show this layout where I can add more ranges here. Okay, so you can do all of this with this API. Okay, you just cannot send it, you cannot add the actual filter yet. We're going to give you another API for that, but for now you have all the information that you need to load this. Okay, now the last thing on the API here, we have values. So in the values, we're going to send you everything the user has selected for here. But right now, you can ignore this one for the moment until we build a post API so you can actually test it with the front. Okay. Now, the valid for, it tells you where this filter can be added to. Okay. Because here, if you go, we'll go back to this view, valid for. You see, each role can add, you can add a filter for traits to avoid, or add filter for traits to focus on. This is to focus, and this is to avoid. Okay, so we tell you which filters can be added here and which filters can be added here. So, for example, when I click here, add a filter, in this specific case, let's go back here to volume. Yes, we can show volume change on focus and on avoid and focus. Okay, so that means when you're displaying this list, let's actually take that list and let's put it here. Okay, there's a list for this one and a list for this one on the top. Okay, so how do you know which one to show here and which ones to show here? With this array that tells you valid for. Okay, avoid and focus. Some of them has only says avoid, some of them says only focus. Okay, so you need to, the front end needs to be smart enough to detect, okay, if it says focus, then I'm going to show it on the focus side. If it says focus and avoid, I'm going to show it on both sides, this filter. Okay, there are a few. One, for example, the mistakes can only go in the avoid section. So we are sending you here avoid section. And then we're going to be adding more, what's it called? More filters. So the front end needs to be dynamic. If we add more filters in the back end, the front end should be able to handle those filters as long as it follows the same between, okay? Or the same format that we've been sending. So that's how this API works. Okay, if you have any question, let me know.